Hey everybody, in this episode I'm going to be teaching you how to do the equivalent of a hello world inside of Django. Now Django is interesting because you create a project, but within that project you can have numerous apps. So we're going to create an app inside of that project. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave this running because that is going to allow us to access this page. So what we can do is we can hit this little button and that's going to open another terminal here. And what we can do is we can activate our virtual environment from here. So here's what we can do. We can go up a directory. So we are looking for this env here and then just say source env slash, and I believe it's bin slash activate. Hit enter. Now we're in that virtual environment. Now what we can do is we can change directory back into our project. Inside of here is where our manage.py file is. So we can say python manage.py start app, and we'll just call this reading. Hit enter, and that's going to create another folder inside of here. So it's a little funky on the file structure. We have this outer books, this inner books, which contains stuff about our project, and then we have this reading app. Now the goal here is to be able to go to our app and visit /reading. When we go here though, we get page not found. To fix this, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our app, and inside of reading, we're going to create a new file, urls.py. Now I'm going to paste some code in here. Nothing too crazy though, so you should be able to type it out. We're going to need path because we're going to use that here, and I'm going to explain what this does in just a second. Basically, when we visit reading and we don't pass in anything after this /, we are hitting an empty path here. And what we want to do is we want to hit an index page. So that is in views.index. So what we do now is we go into our views file and we can create that view here. So a view can just be a simple function. So here's what it's going to look like. We actually don't need this line here either. So def index, and this is going to take a request, and then we just say return HTTP response, which we're actually going to import. So bring this down a line and say from Django URLs import HTTP response, and all we're going to pass in here is just books and stuff to keep it really vague for right now. So we've done two things so far. We created this view here, the index view, and then we created the URLs and told it to use that view. So is it going to work yet if we refresh? Not quite. There's one more thing we got to do. At the project level, we have to define a URL. So go into books, URLs, scroll down a little bit, and we're going to add a new path in here. So instead of admin, it's going to be reading, like so. And then what we need to do is we need to say include, which we actually need to import, of course. So that's going to be right here, import path, include is another option. And then inside of parentheses, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to put the URLs for our app. So it's going to be reading.urls. So yeah, if you're totally overwhelmed with stuff to do, yeah, I get that. I had the same experience, still trying to figure out some of this stuff sometimes. But as of now, it should work. Cannot import HTTP response. So that's in our views, and that's because we should be importing this from django.http. There we go. All right, let's try this one more time. Go back to our page, refresh, and boom, books and stuff. So that is how you would do a hello world essentially inside of Django. So let's just review because that was a whole lot of stuff. So let's start at our project URLs level. So that's right here. And here's what's going down. Anything to reading in the URL, we're just going to forward that over to the reading.urls. So it basically crops off anything on the left and sends anything extra. Since we're just going to the blank page, there's nothing extra, which is why inside of reading, we just have an empty path right here. Then we say what view we want hit. That's views.index, which comes from right here. Here's that index view. And all we're doing is returning an HTTP response that says books and stuff. So there's three components really here. The view, the URLs for the app, and then the URLs for the project. Well, that's enough routing and junk for this video. I'm getting a migraine, so what I want to do now is I want to talk about database stuff, which I prefer, and we're going to talk about that in the next video. So stay tuned and be sure to subscribe.